Not content with dominating the action camera market, GoPro is pushing things even further with 3 new devices in the GoPro Hero lineup. With a late 2014 release sitting comfortably alongside the existing white and 3 Plus silver models is a budget-conscious Hero, a new Hero 4 Silver Edition with a built-in touch LCD, and the most powerful camera GoPro have ever produced, the Hero 4 Black Edition. The matchbox-sized GoPro range have been king of the hill when it comes to small action cameras, but that hasn't stopped GoPro. They've gone ahead and taken it one step further. The Hero 4 Black Edition is the company's new flagship camera targeted at pros and anyone who wants the best possible video you can get from an action cam. Priced around the $500 mark or £370 in the UK, users will certainly have to fork out a fair chunk to pick up this small powerhouse, which promises to be twice as powerful as its predecessor, allowing 4K recording at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 120 frames per second for super slow-mo video. Being a step down in price as well as functionality, the Hero 4 Silver incorporates 4K recording at 15 frames per second and 2.7K at 30 frames per second. If those sound familiar, it's because they are what the Hero 3 Plus Black could do. So it seems with the Hero 4 Silver you're essentially getting that model, albeit with a more powerful processor and stronger low-light shooting abilities alongside a touch screen. That's right, a touch LCD display built right onto the back. According to GoPro, the Black Edition's processor needed for 4K recording at 30 frames per second gives off quite a bit of heat when pumping all those pixels, and because of that the touchscreen had to be dropped from the flagship model. So it's a decision between the touchscreen in the silver or the higher shooting abilities of the black. The Hero might be the entry-level camera, but the specifications are still rather impressive, as is the price point. The video capabilities are a little more modest than the other 2 cameras in the range, but it still boasts an impressive 1080p at 30 frames per second and can capture 5 megapixel stills at 5 frames per second. Unlike the other 2 models, however, the Hero doesn't include Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connectivity or the fantastic ProTune mode. Regardless of model, all are available from friends of the channel hobbymounts.co.uk. Fast dispatch along with fantastic customer support make them my preferred action cam and accessory supplier. Regardless of whether it's the black or silver, several packages are available, including a surf and music package, each containing mounts relative to your requirements. Here we have the regular editions with the standard outer packaging we've come to expect from GoPro. At the very top we have the camera itself, displayed within a waterproof housing, thumbscrew and quick release mount pre-attached. On top of that very handy plastic base, which I'd recommend removing and keeping as a tripod for flat surfaces. Bearing in mind this is the regular package, the contents within the accessory boxes are pretty much identical regardless of camera model, with a standard GoPro user manual and set of stickers at the very top. Further in the box is a newly shaped battery, 1160 mAh in capacity, wrapped in a new slimmer overall design. A standard 3-way pivot arm, a flat and curved adhesive mount with a rubber anti-vibration plug, a further quick release buckle, the open back door, and the standard GoPro USB cable. So no changes with the accessories whatsoever, meaning complete compatibility with all previous Hero 3 and 3 Plus accessories and mounts. Note that the Silver Edition does come with a waterproof touch back door in addition, useful when using the camera around water, although touch sensitivity will not work when submerged. When it comes to the new GoPro Hero, a change in packaging reminds the users that this is a budget unit. Inside the cardboard packaging we have the camera itself beneath a thin plastic cover, complete with the standard thumbscrew and quick release mount pre-attached. As for accessories, within the bottom of the box users find a quick start guide. Under this is a skeleton back door slightly tinted in colour to match the existing housing, a standard USB charging cable, along with both flat and curved adhesive mounts with anti-vibration rubber plug. A basic package, although enough to get users in on the action. Upon first inspection, the GoPro Hero 4 looks and feels much like its predecessor, sporting the same overall design and shape. Great for those with a large existing collection of mounts, housings and accessories, considering they are all still usable with the Hero 4. The powerful lens dominates much of the front and looks physically identical to previous models. Offering twice the performance capabilities of its predecessors, the GoPro Hero 4 Black allows users to shoot an impressive 4K video at 30 frames per second, making it an impressive little device. In comparison, the Silver can still manage a very respectable 4K at 15 frames per second, still hugely impressive considering the small size and low weight of the unit. On the stills front, both units offer a dedicated shooting mode with 12 megapixel shots being captured at 30 photos per second. Moving on, the front LEDs have been moved and are now housed by the LCD display. Talking of the display, we now have a more context-sensitive menu system, making navigating between options that much easier. Other than the standard power and mode button and the Hero 4 branding, the front of the unit shares much the same likeness to the Hero 3. The top houses the shutter release button alongside a recording LED indicator and a microphone, which coupled with the second mic input on the side of the unit is said to produce improved audio recording capability, able to capture twice the dynamic range. Also on this side is the standard port cover, which when removed displays the micro SD card, USB and HDMI ports we've become accustomed to from previous models. On the camera's right side, what was the Wi-Fi button on previous models is now a settings button. Press it and up comes the settings for the mode that you're in. The same button doubles as a highlight tag button, allowing users to hit the button immediately after that cool moment happens, and it's tagged so you can find it faster later. Alongside another status LED on the rear, we have the typical GoPro proprietary port and side hinge on both units. Users of the Silver are presented with a built-in touch-sensitive LCD display with a small LCD power button in the bottom corner, making changing settings even easier, as well as framing up shots, before switching off the display to conserve battery life. Notice the lack of battery backdoor on the Black as well as the Silver. The new style battery is now inserted into the bottom of the GoPro through a new hinge design. Also notice a speaker grill on the bottom of the Hero 4 Silver used when playing back video, obviously not present on the Black. Moving on, the new addition to the family, the Hero, incorporates even fewer features. Sporting a grey colour and set in the same waterproof housing, along with a single recording LED, power and shutter button, users will notice that the camera is set permanently into the housing and cannot be removed. The rear door can be changed for better audio capture when used above water, and the unit can be used with all standard GoPro mounts and accessories. Since the camera is set into the housing, users are able to insert a memory card or charge the battery, which is built-in and not replaceable, via the ports set into the back of the camera. A very simplistic overall design offering users the very basic options, although at a very low price point. The Hero 4 battery design will be rather frustrating if you have previous cameras with plenty of spare batteries already. The 1160 mAh battery now drops into the bottom of the camera and makes swapping the battery out much easier than having to faff about with removing a thin back door. Generally, using anything above 1080p at 30 frames per second will drastically shorten battery life, although that's typical with any action camera, and it's the trade-off with having such a small device. Users of the Hero have no choice whatsoever. The battery is built in and not replaceable. Like previous editions, the Hero 4 also offers Wi-Fi connectivity to allow it to be controlled with a smartphone or tablet, as well as a new integrated Bluetooth chip. The low-cost Hero fails to incorporate either of these connectivity options. The updated user interface also helps in making it easier to navigate and discover the camera's massive shooting modes. Talking of modes, other new features with the Hero 4 include the night photo and night lapse modes that let users adjust the exposure up to 30 seconds for single shots and time-lapse photos, and the GoPro's fantastic ProTune setting that allows for manual control over color, ISO, exposure and contrast is now available for photos as well as video. Again, all missing from the Hero, which incorporates a maximum resolution of 1080p at 30 frames per second, with 5 megapixel stills at 5 frames per second. Coupled with the refreshed audio system offering Hero 4 users sound with twice the dynamic range of past GoPro cameras, it makes for an overall rather impressive lineup. Needless to say, video quality from both the Hero 4 Black or Silver is nothing short than fantastic. From 1080p through to full-blown 4K now at 30 frames per second is nothing short of mind-blowing thanks to the sharper lens capturing video streams with a higher bitrate than its predecessor. A real cinematic treat. Saying that, the previous Hero 3 Plus was also fantastic, and 3 Plus owners may find that video quality alone isn't enough to justify the extra cost to upgrade to the Hero 4. However, introduce the higher quality low light shooting, producing night scenes and shadow detail that are particularly great considering the size of the camera and its sensor, along with the reworked menu system, and the Hero 4 easily outshines its predecessor. Equally impressive is the GoPro Hero, producing great quality footage at this price point. This unit is seriously going to hit the cheaper action cam market, and those on a tight budget can finally jump in the GoPro bandwagon and produce video with seriously impressive quality, along with settings such as Super View and Auto Low Light. One can pick on the design of the GoPro cameras, the short battery life and other features that have been present in competing cameras already, but the video quality is still leaps and bounds ahead of anything else I've come across. It's still simply the best in the category. With 3 new models incorporated into the lineup, GoPro have certainly demonstrated why they continue to dominate the action camera market. The GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition's price reflects the camera's flagship nature. Wannabe owners will need to fork out $500 to snap one up, although what you get for the money is a well-polished, well-equipped and feature-rich action camera with video quality that blows everything else out of the water. Taking a step down, the Silver Edition produces video quality equally as impressive, sacrificing those higher resolutions and frame rates for a built-in touch LCD display that many users will find incredibly useful. Those looking for true cinematic quality video footage with a whole host of extra features will certainly find what they need in the GoPro Hero 4, whereas those on a tighter budget or not requiring all the bells and whistles above a basic 1080p 30 frames per second resolution will be well served with the new member of the family, the GoPro Hero. No matter the choice, GoPro have introduced a great lineup catering for users ranging from amateurs right through to professionals. There's one thing for sure. Those investing in a GoPro action camera certainly won't be left disappointed. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Alternatively, feel free to check out the other GoPro videos in my channel by clicking above or in the description box below. Remember to subscribe as there are plenty more GoPro videos and tutorials coming shortly. See you next time in Nifty's Tech Corner.